What's up? Just another ride down another lonely road. Running from something, everything to do and nothing. Just riding down this rainy highway. I want to share a story with y'all if we're willing to listen. I'm a stranger and you don't care, and I still want to share. Lend me your ears for a few minutes. It will be over before you know it, and hopefully you will get something out of this. So please, can I have your undivided attention? The little fishing town of Port Fallow had always been a quiet place, wrapped in a perpetual mist that clung to its harbor. The old-timers swore the fog was a living thing, a breathing shroud that fed on the town's secrets. They said it had a sound, a low moaning whistle that sometimes echoed from the sea on moonless nights. But for a newcomer like Mark, a freelance journalist hoping to find a story, it was all just local color. He rented a small salt-weathered cottage right on the pier, the windows of which overlooked the black churning water. The landlord, a man with eyes like polished stones, gave him one piece of advice. Don't go out on the water when the fog whistles. Mark had laughed it off, but a week into his stay, he heard it for the first time. It was a sound that seemed to snake its way into his bones, a mournful, hollow note that was part wind and part something else, something ancient and hungry. The next day, Mark discovered a faded, handwritten journal tucked into the back of a drawer. It belonged to the cottage's previous tenant, a reclusive cartographer named Elias Croft. The entries grew more frantic with each page, filled with paranoid ramblings about the breathing fog and a map he was creating. A map not of the coastline, but of the sounds. The final entry sent a chill down Mark's spine. The sound is a lure. It calls to those who are lost, and the fog opens up to receive them. I have charted its melody, its monstrous song, but I have not charted its hunger. Tonight I will go out and mark the place where it swallows its catch. That night, the whistle began again, louder and more insistent than before. Mark watched from his window as the fog rolled in, thick and heavy, swallowing the lamplight on the pier. He saw a shape, a silhouette of a small fishing boat, glide silently out of the harbor. A single, muffled cry cut through the mist before being abruptly silenced. He grabbed the journal and a flashlight, racing out onto the pier. The fog was disorienting, and the world was reduced to the small circle of light from his beam. He followed Elias's final instructions, a series of coordinates that were less about location and more about sound. The whistles grew louder, a maddening symphony that seemed to come from all directions at once. Suddenly, the beam of his flashlight caught something drifting near the pilings, a single, leather-bound boot. And then, he heard a new sound. A wet smacking noise from beneath the surface, accompanied by a low, guttural chittering. He shone the light onto the water, but the fog was too thick. All he saw was the swirling blackness, until two pinpricks of crimson light appeared, glowing in the depths like malevolent eyes. The whistle stopped. The breathing fog went silent. The only sound was the frantic pounding of Mark's own heart and the sloshing of water against the wood. The crimson lights began to rise. He dropped the journal and scrambled back toward the shore. Ancient, hungry chittering growing louder behind him. He didn't stop until he was safely inside. The door bolted, the curtains drawn. Mark never wrote his story. He never spoke of what he saw. He left town the next day, abandoning the cottage and the journal. He could never shake the image of those eyes, nor the memory of the town's silence. And sometimes, on a misty night, he still hears it. A faint, mournful whistle from a place far, far away.
The stars. The stars. The stars.